Wow. Sorry. Hey y'all, I'm sorry, IG. We start over just a little IG.
Cut
Hey,
and action.
Facebook was. I do that all the time. I do that all the time. All right, so here we go. Good evening, everybody. Hey, welcome to the Real Life Relationship Growth Get Together Family Network. All of that. Welcome. It is Thursday. Tonight is at 8:30 night because for those of you who've been following, Caden, my nephew, is on the Atlanta Falcons drum line. So I've been a little bit of everywhere, doing a little bit of everything. He's also in the band at school, in the high school band. So they had a parent meeting tonight, played a little bit, had to get there. Um, cousin stepping up in the clutch and making things happen, making sure we make things happen. Because this village is tight for the boy. It's gotta be tight. All right, so here we go. Good evening, everyone. So y'all know how I do. I'm gonna go ahead and get started because all the videos are posted live. All the lives are posted on YouTube, on Facebook, on IG. So whether you're watching now or you pop in a little bit later, you still will have an opportunity to watch everything from beginning to the end. All right. So I'm going to get started. Our title tonight, it was already up, so y'all probably already saw it. Let me say this, the little housekeeping IG, I apologize. Still, you guys are not connected to Restream. So IG is here, Facebook and YouTube are here. Facebook and YouTube are here. So my apologies. Um, I hope everything comes out clear on both ends. I know YouTube was having a little issue for a minute. I hope that's cleared up. I tried to clear it up, so hopefully it is. So if you come on and you're on YouTube, oh, this is on before. If you come on and you're on YouTube, if you could give me a shout so I can know YouTube is up and running and doing this thing. Okay? If not, then I'm going to have to implore some people that may know how to fix it because I still haven't fixed it. I still haven't fixed it. Still haven't fixed it. All right. So, listen, y'all, I am not a relationship expert. I am just a black woman in this world, living this life, doing a damn thing, and enjoying myself in the process. This sir here is my baby cousin.
Only on Tuesdays.
No, for real. He's my baby cousin. He's my baby cousin. This is Mr. Cortland. Mr. Cortland Tony. And I'm always asking him, yo, I need a male counterpart when I go live on some topics. Some topics. So he's in town. Um, so I hit him up last night before he got because I didn't want to catch him off guard, which I do a lot of times anyway. But he is always ready. He is always ready to jump in. So I am not a relationship expert. I'm not. I just have some experiences in things that I've been through, negative, positives, wonderful, bad, all of those things that could possibly be a help and a guidance to someone. Just like experiences in life as well can be a help and a guidance to someone. So we're gonna get this thing going. We're not going to delay or drag it out because it is 8:30, and I'm aware that most people are used to 8 o'clock. So hopefully y'all got the memo, and everybody will start kind of popping on, realizing, oh, we delayed a little bit tonight, and hopefully this won't have to happen again. But we'll see what happens. We may have to extend our time in the evening to get this going. But anyway, oh sorry. Anyway, okay. So this is our Thursday night meetup. It is an 8 o'clock meetup, but again tonight was 8:30. So let's get going. Let's get going. This is our segment, our weekly segment, Camper Conversations. For those of you who do not know what Camper Conversations is, you don't have to have a camper We're not going outside. We're not putting up a tent. We're not doing all of that. But got a camper, a trailer. And I went in it one day. I was in there. I chill sometimes, relaxing. Be a good idea. So this is why camper conversations come. This is how camper conversations come about. But the page is the Real Life Relationship Growth channel page. This is our topic tonight. Our topic. Topic: dating in your 20s versus dating in your 50s. Dating in your 20s versus dating in your 50s. So cousin and I were chopping it up. We were talking about a good way to take this conversation and this discussion, right? Because we're both not 20, not in our 20s, not in our 30s. How old are you?
46.
46. He is 46. I, however, am 51. So I'm in that 50 part. It actually was supposed to be 20s versus dating in the 40s. But I thought about that thing. I'm like, we got to take it up. We got to take it up a notch. Because everybody that on this page, of course, is an array of age range and all of that stuff. So we are going to hit it from the perspectives of male and female, of course, ups and downs, all that good stuff. So let's get started with this. So again, this is my cousin Cortland. Cortland has an IG, and it's entitled "Uniquely Made." Uniquely Made. Is it this fully? Uniquely Made.
No, that's
okay.
The thing.
All right. So let me do this. Let me read this. Cortland, he says, just a guy trying to encourage others to be God-led and purpose-driven, and understanding that you are uniquely made in His image.
Can we get an amen? Just type amen in the comments. Amen? Amen.
Uniquely made in His image. Now I got to tell y'all a little joke. When he says uniquely made, the spelling of it is very unique, which works. You know, I'm talking about that thing. Like, okay, is that how you gonna spell that thing? But then when we think about it, uniquely made.
I had to spell it 40,000 times to get it to come out to look right. Because the first time I had it, and she saw it, she was like, "That's not gonna work." So I had to put my brain to it and figure it out, and I did. Because one, I wanted you in there. So let me tell you how to spell it. So we can kind of break down. Spell YOUKNIQUELYMADE.
Ooh.
Right? Ooh. I wanted you in there, talking about you as an individual and as a person. But the unique, I couldn't spell like you regularly would spell uniquely. So just for y'all that this brother passed high school, I did. So I had to come up with a unique way to spell it. Look at all these uniques that's coming in here. Unique way to spell it because somebody else had already used part of these names on the web and on different places. So when I thought about it, I was able to come up with that because KN spells right. So it kind of helped me come up with the whole thing. So that's kind of how that came about. But it had been on my heart and for a while because God had put it on my heart for a while. But you guys a little bit about myself, just so you can kind of get an idea. I am single, married, don't have any kids. I've been close a time too, but it didn't work out. So in my dating life, I've been through some good ups and I've been through some bad lows, right? So I've noticed what kind of made me when DJ asked me, that's what I call it DJ. When DJ asked me about this last night, I had this conversation before. Like, is it harder to date when you're older versus when you're younger and just getting in the dating game? And for me, I feel like when you're younger, you only have no cares in the world, right? You're willing to put up with more. You're willing to wait until somebody gets it together. You know what I'm saying? You're willing to even ride the train with somebody because 9 times out of 10, you don't have it together. Or you're still trying to figure out, or you don't even know what you want. Number one, you know what I'm saying? I think that's the biggest thing. So anything that comes at you, you're willing to accept that because you're not even sure if that's something that you even want or you have an idea for. And I think as we get deep into this conversation, you know what I'm saying, Wally break down some reasons as to why that is when you're younger. But I think when you get older, you've been through some things, you've learned some things, you kind of got a better understanding of what you want and what you're willing to accept from somebody else. And this has nothing to do with being bitter. And this has nothing to do with I've been hurt so much that, you know what I'm saying, you know, I'm just going to do you wrong, whatever. It has nothing to do with that. This has to do with relationship maturity, right? Because I think that like once you get a taste for a certain standard, it's hard to go back. You know, because there's always that relationship did not work out, but it's just because you guys weren't right for each other, but it wasn't a bad relationship. But there's so many things that you took from that relationship, but you learned from that relationship that you're like, this got to be in my next person. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, so just kind of, you know, a brief as to kind of where we were going and what we were talking about. But what did you think was, or what do you, because you've been married before,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So what did you think is easier, like when you were younger or as you got older?
Most definitely as I got older. Most definitely as I got older. So first, let me say this. Hey, Terry. Hey, Chris. Paulette, my girl. What's up, sis? Sis is on Facebook, IG. Anderson and Andrea Alicia. Hi.
We're gonna call you A and A. Right.
Welcome. Good evening. Welcome. Good evening. Man, dated in my 20s. So, like you said, I've been married before, right? I literally was married at, how old was I? About 24. About 24.
Ooh, okay.
I was married about 24. Yep, I was married.
How long did y'all date?
We dated, let's see, I met Daryl when we first got to Germany. Went over to Germany my senior year in high school. Senior year in high school. So by the time graduation came around, I was pregnant with Rajan. So we didn't date. Hey sis.
What up, cuz?
We didn't date a really, really long time. He was older. He was a little bit older than me, but we didn't date a really long time. And truth be told, my dating experience was not a lot. It wasn't a lot.
So you got married when you was 24. You had Ra your senior year in high school.
My senior year.
So
no, I was pregnant with Rajan when I graduated.
So
high school,
that would make you about 17, 18.
Pregnant.
17, 18.
No, I was 19.
19. Okay, so you're 19. So we still talking, my math is correct. 5 years from 19 to 24. Right? So did y'all date consistently during that time before you got married, or was there other suitors?
There were other suitors, but it was him and I. We dated. I didn't date anybody else.
Okay.
It was just him.
Okay.
And like it was like when we met, that night that we met, the next day, it was us. Like from then on, there was a day that he was not at my house. There was not a day that we didn't see each other.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I would have to say that portion of 20s, the earlier time, I didn't have those experiences to date around and date different people. Okay. It was him, then it was our son, then I went into the military, already in. So we were, we were a young couple together in the military, and just so we were married 14 years.
Okay.
We were married 14 years. So I would have to say, based on not having that experience and having the experiences now, the answer to your question would definitely, of course, be now. Knowing what I know, because when we divorced, I definitely dated.
Right.
I definitely dated.
Okay.
But my mindset was a bit different, of course.
Right.
But I definitely dated quite a bit.
So what do you think makes it or made it harder? You know what I'm saying? Let's take out the divorce, right? Let's take out the period that it takes to get your mind together to even move into another relationship. So now your mindset is at a place. I'm good. I can date. I'm without. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna say that because that might be part of your answer. I'm gonna be able to move on and not have to look backwards, right? Because I think that's a lot of our issues is we try to move on, but we're still looking back at what we had before.
Right.
So what made it difficult once you got to that point and started dating and trying to find somebody to date? What made that difficult for you?
Honestly, it wasn't difficult.
Okay.
And I'm gonna tell you why. Because we did it so young, right?
Right.
And I've had and we were locked in so young, and moving forward, it was us, and I didn't have the experience of dating. Once we got divorced, I was like, yo, this is new. This is a new side of life. Of course, I didn't want to get a divorce. You don't get married to want the marriage to end.
Okay.
But being that we were younger and as we got older, we kind of grew apart. But I ain't gonna lie, I was ready.
Okay.
I was ready. I was ready to date. I knew I didn't want to date long though.
Okay.
I didn't want to be single long. But
well, that's the part I'm kind of alluding to.
Yeah. Yeah. I figured that's what you were coming to. Yeah. I did not want to be single long because I love the family and togetherness and build with someone.
Right.
I love that thought process. But my immature mind and his immature mind and what what if you would have known then, what you know now, all of that stuff would have came into play.
Okay.
And it would have helped so much. But on the other spectrum, I had never been single in my young years.
Okay.
So when I got to the point where we, ended up getting divorced or whatever, and got to the point, it was at a point where it was like there was somebody for everything. Like if I wanted to do certain things, there was somebody to do that with. If things that there was somebody to do that with. But the thought process was always wanting to be married.
Okay.
And being that that family, that framework, that dynamic. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, I think that you know what I'm saying. So I guess the question that I'm really trying to ask you is what was about these persons that you were dating that didn't necessarily measure up? Right? What was it about it that it was like, okay, you wanted to be in another family dynamic, but what was it that kept you from going to another family dynamic? You know what I'm saying? Was the practices of how they were moving, and and just let's just be honest, let's be real. In this day and age,
real life relationship, bro.
You know what I'm saying? In this day and age, it's gonna be ironic that I say this in this particular medium, but in this day and age, everybody's a relationship guru. Right? Everybody online is telling women how to do this and men how to do this.
Right.
So the way that dating was set up when we were in our 20s, which was 20 years ago, you know what I'm saying, give or take.
Give or take.
You know what I'm saying?
30.
This person that you're trying to take out or trying to take you out did not have all these other bylaws and foolishness seeped into their mind that they've been going down the relationship rabbit hole, you know what I'm saying? Trying to figure out how to do this, married in 30 days and 50-day fiance. I don't even know the name of the show, but y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Or all these different things. And then they go on a date and they're trying to take fantasy into a reality type situation. And that's really not the way that it works. Right. So were you running up against these type of situations and barriers in your dating life, and you was like, wait a minute, this is not the same dating pool that was out there when I was doing this thing before I was married. Like, this is a different breed of people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Most definitely.
Okay.
Most definitely. Yeah. To your point, like I was saying, what I know now, if I would have known then what I know now. Right. And that goes on the lines of, like now, everything is a microwave. We live in a microwave society. Right. Everything is a quick, do it quick, get it quick, rush, get it quick. Yeah. So I feel like, and I hope we get some younger people who watch this and comment, because you can always comment later. But I feel like people now, it's supposed to be automatic. Right. Like, you go out on a date, let's back up before we even get on a date, because I've done the online dating thing. I was dead set against doing online dating thing, and only because I just didn't feel comfortable with it. Right. And I don't. It's nothing wrong with online dating. I don't see anything wrong with it. It just was not for me. Why? Because I have an old-fashioned way of thinking. I got that old school mindset. You meet a brother. Y'all have a little bit of a conversation. He shows an interest. Y'all have a little bit of a conversation. Y'all exchange numbers. I'll talk, and then you go on a date, and it's just dating. People have so many different definitions of dating. Right. So you go on a date, and things grow from the brothers now. Okay. Man, like it's like they feel like, and they think you're supposed to be locked into them automatic, just because they showed you some attention. Right. Just because they asked for your number, just because they say you fine, or you this or you that. Right. They feel like it feels like it's automatic. Like, my thing is, where is the wooing? You know what I'm saying? You don't even hear that word anymore. Right. Like, where's the woo stage? Like, where is it that you show me that you're interested, and you want to explore who I am, like who I am. I think it's so many options, and that's another reason why online dating wasn't a big thing for me too. Because when I did go on there, and I'm sure this is not just my situation, but when I did go on there, it was so overwhelming. Like, literally, go to sleep, wake up, it's 100 dudes that has liked your profile, and about 50 of them that has sent you a little message and said something. So now it's like, oh my gosh, like, so the first time I did it, I didn't stay on long at all. Right. Because I felt like, again, old-fashioned way of thinking, if that's what we want to call it, way of thinking was this is this microwave thing. Like, you just read something about me, and that's what it is.
Honestly, I don't even think we're reading, if I'm being honest.
Just looking at the
looking at the pictures. Like, for me, because you had said something, and I was gonna say something completely. Lost my thought, but I feel like online dating. Studies show, and I can't give you exact numbers, but studies show that the average woman, right? I'm talking about average looks. Actually, let's be real. A woman who is not very attractive, right, is going to get hit up online 1,000 times more than a very attractive male.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
I've definitely read that.
yeah. So it's like, you're gonna have an influx of, I'm saying, of suitors that's gonna come and they're gonna try to talk to you. Versus back in the day, you know what I'm saying? You usually had like one person at a time.
Right.
So you had time to vet. You know what I'm saying? Where
Right.
now you got 31 flavors to choose from.
Right.
Right. And now you got to try to decide all these 30, have they, are these 31 flavors good? Are they not good?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, is that something I even want to try? You know what I'm saying? This is a whole new flavor I ain't heard of. You know what I'm saying? The 30-second flavor. My issue with online dating is 99% safe because you can build a boo.
I agree.
And when you build a boo, I'm saying everything that I want.
Yep.
I need her to be 5'7". I need her to have thick legs. I need her to have curly hair. I need her to have dimples. Give me some green eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I want an accent, give me an accent.
Right.
Even though I can't hear it, she just got to say she's from Venezuela. We're good. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like there's no substance in this thing. All I'm looking at is what exactly I built in my head, right? So now I'm putting it out there. I'm dropping her a little message, hoping that she replies, right? If she doesn't reply, a couple of things are going to happen. Get angry because she didn't reply to me. Right? Or I'm going to send her multiple messages until she does reply. Right? So, or I'm just going to be like, all right, she just ain't reply, and let me move on. Right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So those are kind of the things that's going to happen when it happens online. I feel like online dating is very superficial because of that reason, because you're not building substance. If I meet somebody in person, I'm having a chance to talk to them, dialogue. We're able to build some substance. We're able to build something, right? To let us know, okay, we want to kind of move to another level because we're having good energy here. Right. If I meet you online, I just basically looked at your pictures. Right. Women, I don't care what you tell me, you looked at my pictures too, because that's why you responded. Right? You responded because you saw me as an attractive person. If I was dog ugly, you would not have responded. I don't care what I wrote in my bio.
Swipe left.
I don't care like what I had to say. You like, no, he's not attracted to me. Right. So that kills me when women be like, oh no, it's not about the look. It's not about the look. It is. Because even if somebody is walking up to you on the street, you still gonna check their shoes. You still gonna check their nails. You still gonna check if they scraggly looking. You know what I'm saying? It's not about the face for you. There's gonna be physical things about the person
you're looking for
that you're gonna look at and say whether I'm attracted to this person or I'm not attracted to this person. Right. But I'm kind of getting off that. But anyway, going back to, now, and as far as the men's side goes, this is even with not just online dating, but dating in person. I feel like there's so many rules now that we have to follow. So many rules now that, the young ladies come up with, right? So now it's even more difficult because you have to make sure you hit all these rules pinpoint. And some of them are legit and some of them are a little bit far-fetched. You know what I mean? We're not going to get all into that on this conversation because I don't think that's just kind of live. But I think that back in the day, really about I mustered up the courage to come and talk to you. You know what I'm saying? And, we have a conversation. Now it's all about the chase. So when you chase somebody, this is my definition. When you chase somebody, you'll never catch them, right? Because you're chasing them. So it's like I can get close, but as soon as you caught, well, that's something different. So it's like as soon as I get close, you're gonna take off running again, right? Because you enjoy the chase. But if you allow somebody to pursue you, that's the word I'm looking for. You're gonna allow yourself to be caught. Right? Because when you allow somebody to be pursued, right, it's like when I catch up, you're going to let me know right then and there if you want me to continue pursuing you. Right. Right? So you engage in conversation, but you might be off again. You know what I'm saying? That's flirting, right? You know what I'm saying? So you allow me to catch up to you, engage in conversation until you're actually ready to actually stay in that moment with me. And like online, when I deal with, like online dating, it's just, if you hadn't said the R word in your bio, if you hadn't said the R word within the first 2 seconds of talking to them, R word is relationship.
Right.
Serious about what you want. I don't even know you.
Right.
I don't know you.
Right.
I don't know anything about you.
Right.
I don't know your family life. I don't know your past relationship life.
Right.
I don't know anything about you. Like, why am I calling you? I don't know you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't even have a simple conversation with me online. I'm not wasting my time to call you if you can't even have a simple conversation online. So it's like, why are we in such a rush? And that's what I see now. It's like everybody's in such a rush, men to be in the next relationship without even building a foundation of friendship.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where I feel like when I was younger, I feel like you were automatically building friendships because you were just in that arena, right? So then it was like, oh, I like Susie right there, and you build a friendship, and then over time, you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, we got something going on, but y'all had a foundation that y'all built where, like I said, now with social media, I can talk to somebody across the country, but there's no base being built. There's no foundation being built.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, who? Like, how many hoops and how many jumpers? I saw a young lady say online,
hey, Kev,
that on her first date, that if a man is not willing to spend quite a bit of money to impress her and take her out, you know what I'm saying, then he's probably not going to get a call back. And there were some guys in the comments, and they was like, well, what about just a nice evening of going on a walk and going out to the beach or something like that? It doesn't seem like women are moving in that direction these days. Like back in the day, I feel like you took somebody to the park. You could take somebody to the beach for a first date. You could you could do like simple dating, right? To where now it's, I impressed you. I got to impress you so much on this first date for you to be able to give me a second date. But then it's like, okay, once you set a standard with something, you have to keep doing that standard or getting better, right? So now you're putting a false sense out there of what you're willing and able to do for this person. Right. You know what I mean? So yeah. So I feel like when you're older, for me, at least for me, that it's a little bit harder to date too. And another thing, I don't have kids, so that's another thing that's hard for me, right? So I'm dealing with women who have kids. No wrong, I love kids. I just don't have kids. So if you ain't got your kids in order, I don't know what to tell you. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you
missed the line when we talked about that, right? Yeah,
it's gonna be hard for me to come in and play Mr. Correction Man. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like,
should not have to.
Right.
Show children in order before you start dating.
Right.
That's a part of you being.
Or let me stop harping on the women, because I got to say something about the men. Y'all probably I already had this discussion. As a matter of fact, I know you had this discussion. Men, we got to stop dating when we're not ready. You know what I'm saying? If our pocket's not ready, if our mental is not ready, if our spirit is not ready, any of that stuff, because now we trying to approach a woman who and has all these things in order, and we rubbing 2 pennies together, but she rubbing $100 bills together. If she used to buying Birkin bags and eat, I don't even know fancy restaurants. Ruth Chris, is that a fancy restaurant? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? If she's used to doing these things for herself, right, it's going to be hard for us to come in and downgrade her. Now, I'm not saying that those things can't happen, because they can happen organically.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I think sometimes we try to force the issue, and you know what I'm saying, when we a G League player, but we trying to play with LeBron. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily going to work out. So I got to be fair. Right. So I can't just harp on the ladies while we're on here. I got to harp on the guys too, and whatnot. But I think all of those rules that are in place is what makes dating, and I don't even put an age range on it. I'm just going to say in this time frame. Because imagine 10 years from now when the scales go up and the conversations, you know what I'm saying? Because,
talk about Build-A-Bear.
Yeah.
Talk about Build-A-Bear. Yeah. Points are so valid. Points are so valid. You know, on the same spectrum, on the same side of it, like you were saying.
Teresa said, hey.
Teresa, hey, Quest, what's up, brother? Kevin, where you been, man? Like I was wondering that, was thinking that was like, look, Kevin was my rider. I ain't seen him in a minute, but Kevin's in
Quest
the
the
building.
singer?
That's Quest Green.
Okay. One thing of Calvin.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you thinking of
Yeah.
you thinking of a total different person. Yeah, Mr. Quest, Mr. You threw me off my point. Threw me off my point. But like we were saying, that it's that get ready quick type thought process.
Mm-hmm.
And wanting her to, as far as men, because I mean, coming from a female perspective, yeah,
we want ownership quickly.
Oh, quick.
We want to lock you in, lock you down for somebody else to get a chance.
And listen,
and if you don't give us the chance we think we deserve, we upset.
Even mention or tell a brother that you're dating more than one person. Oh, that's like daggone taboo for a woman. Oh, she dating more than one guy. She don't need. I don't need to be putting no time in over there. I ain't trying to compete. I ain't trying to do all of that.
Bodies versus bodies.
Bodies, depending on what you mean on bodies.
That's exactly what I mean. We're grown.
Yeah, but wait a minute now. But dating does not mean you having sex with everybody. That don't mean you dropping, but you giving. That don't mean that.
But that's not how we see it.
Well, but
if you say you going out with Bob on Friday, our mind is automatically going to she's getting bad.
And you the one that I don't need.
You know,
because if you think if that's your perception is your reality.
Mm-hmm.
I understand perception is reality, but if you haven't taken enough time to even get to know me,
mm-hmm.
that you wouldn't think that way about me, then you shouldn't be in the running anyway. You shouldn't be one of the ones anyway. Because
right.
If your automatic thought is, oh, she out here having sex. If I'm out here having sex with all these dudes, why do you want me? Like, so you can have sex with me too? I mean, is that the thought process? So you can have sex with me too. Which comes back to you not even the one to be dealing with anyway.
Right.
Let me tell you something. If I tell a guy that I'm not even dating, because for me, dating means the decision to be exclusive with one another. So we're dating only each other. Had that Jesus meeting. Y'all know what I call my come to Jesus meeting, meaning we having a conversation. And until we have that conversation, hey, I want us to be exclusive. Don't make any assumptions. But I've had guys say to me, well, if you're going to be dating or you're going to be talking to somebody else, then, I ain't going to be talking to you, or I'm not going to this, I'm going to. And my answer response to that is, okay. Because that just tells me you weren't really. When a man stands up and says, oh, I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about somebody else. I'm not worried about this. I'm not worried about that, because I know who I am. I know what I bring to the table. I can present. That means he got himself together, because so the weeding out is going to happen very quickly. When a brother comes that direction, it's going to happen very quickly. But again, dating more than one person, going out on dates with more than one person does not mean that we're having sex with all of these people, and that we're having sex with any of them, truth be told, depending on the person. We grown. I can't tell you what to do. People do that.
I think that's a whole separate conversation, though.
Just not my thing.
Depending on where you're at with the person that you're talking to.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
So, like, if y'all just go out
and I think that's
once every 3 months, then that's none of your business.
That is none of your business.
But if we go out on a regular, let's say we've already gone there, right?
Yeah.
Then I think that if we're not necessarily exclusive, I think it's fair to that other person, if you're choosing, because now we're playing in danger.
No. I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. I'm talking about, because remember I said a minute ago, dating means different things to different people. But for me, if I'm dating someone, then we've had that conversation. We've had that come to Jesus meeting. We've had that time to say, you know what? I just want.
Right.
I don't want to date anybody else. I don't want to see anybody else. I don't want to talk to anybody else.
Yeah, and I think.
Wait a minute though.
Oh,
wait a minute though. But the time has to be put in. The time has to be put in for me to even want to say that, because I don't know you. Why would I cut off? And I say this for men too. Why would I cut off? Why would he cut off every person that could be a potential before he even knows? Like, that's the expectation. I expect you, because I took you out. I asked for your phone number. We went on a date. We're not dating. We went on a date. I expect you to not go out on any other dates, especially if it's online dating. Sir, ma'am, why are we here? You really feel like with all the options and all the people, not options, everybody's not an option, with all the people that I'm meeting, whether online or offline, that I'm supposed to cut everybody off until you show me a reason why? Again, I think that goes both ways. I think there's a lot
to unpack there, but let's read what Kevin.
Right.
Kevin had to say.
It is. It's hard because folks are not healed. Many older folks are coming out of long relationships, and many are broken. Consequently, she
need her glasses. Hold on, y'all. Consequently, we start trauma dating.
I was trying.
Trauma dating. Let's underline that. Let's capitalize that.
Trauma dating. Kevin.
Trauma dating. Meaning folks hoping they can cover our issues, but end up poisoning and a potential relationship with the trauma from the previous. Trauma dating.
That's my boy Kevin. Like, let me tell you something.
When you have two people that are not healed and they get together, all they're gonna do is
hurt each other.
So now they're trauma bonding. You see what I'm saying? So when you have not healed and you trying to go into a relationship with somebody who is healed, you're just gonna bring them down, because now you're gonna bring them back to a point that they healed themselves from. But that person that's healed should be strong enough not to date you. You
just said it, because I was getting ready to say healed people don't date broken people.
Sometimes they do, because that person comes with a facade that they hold for like 1 month, 2 months, or 6 months, and they hold that facade, and then they kind of lock you in a little bit, and now you've invested time. And then they show their true colors. You're like, man, how did I get here?
Oh no, been there, done that, got the t-shirt. I get that, I understand. But your point, a valid point in there, what you said, until they see that, because it can't happen. People can come with the best of the best. They can present what I call their representative.
Right.
Your representative is going to come with all the right answers, all the right things, all the right this, right that. Circumstances were how they were. So I get it. I understand. You're right. A broken person can come in, but when that healed person start seeing those red flags and they start seeing those things and recognizing them, they're not going to stay in that situation.
Right.
That's the difference. So it's very possible that it can happen, and it does happen. But I don't mean to belabor that point on what you were saying. You were going somewhere with that. But yeah. It's not.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? But I also feel like, so you have people that are healers. You have people who are save-ems. You know what I'm talking about, save-ems. Men and women.
Hey,
right?
Simone.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like sometimes you get a situation, you say, man, I see the potential in this person. Right? I see the greatness that they don't even see in themselves. All they have to do is stop doing that.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to myself. Stop doing that. Right? Because until that person can see, it don't matter what you do. It don't matter what you say.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because when we're younger, guess what? We ain't been through nothing. We haven't dealt with anything, right? So we don't know when we're dealing with a broken person. We just think we're dealing with, this is how relationships are supposed to go. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna say this because I want to parking lot it, but this goes back to how you were raised in your household too. How the relationship you saw your parents go through. You know what I'm saying? How you saw your mom being treated by men, or how you saw your dad treat women, or how you saw your dad by women, or how you saw your mom treat men. You know what I'm saying? It goes back to all of that because, you know what I'm saying, that affects you when you get out in the dating world because you're just repeating and rinsing and repeat, or repeat and rinse, right? That's all you're trying to do. Or you're trying to say, I don't want to make those same mistakes. So, you know, I'm going to go over here, but because you haven't learned anything, you're still pulling somebody home who is just like your broken dad, or you're still pulling somebody home who is just like your broken mom, right? You know what I'm saying? Or you're women in the manner in which your dad did, or you're treating men in the manner in which your mom did, even though you said you wasn't going to do that.
Right.
So that's, you know what I'm saying, that's where the trauma begins. So now that trauma gets deep rooted in us, right? So now, you know what I'm saying, we have these excuses or these reasons why these relationships don't work when we're young, and then we get older, and now it's like, okay, well, she got trauma, I got trauma, we might as well just get together
and fix it together.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I used to have young ladies tell me, well, if you're not arguing in a relationship, then it's not a real relationship. Like, what are we talking about? Like, I'm not trying to be arguing every day. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And let's go from the 20s with that one.
Okay.
With that comment. Because I've heard people say, and you know, and again, those who are younger in their 20s, 30s, not saying that y'all don't know anything. We just have to base this off of experiences. Hey, Stacey. Basing off of experience, growth, maturity, stuff like that, right?
Right.
And people say maturity and they want to be like, oh, someone's immature. That's not bad. You know, they take it as a negative automatically.
Right.
You just have not grown to this point. Immature. That's just literally what it means. It's not an insult. So the thing about arguing and if you're not doing this, I had a friend of mine tell me one time, if he ain't whoop my ass, he don't love me. And I was like, wow.
But where'd he get that from?
What she?
Where'd she get that from?
Where did she get that from?
Yes.
She was used to being in abusive relationships.
Okay, but what about her parent?
And well, I personally knew them for years.
Okay.
I never witnessed, heard, thought anything like that.
Interesting.
Yeah. But that was her thought process. And I was like, we got to love ourselves more. We got to understand who we are to feel like or think that type of situation is what love looks like. And that's where the tragedy comes in, like you were saying. Our experiences is, you know, that's what makes us who we are, our experiences. And we can take our experiences and we can use them. I always tell my nieces, use your powers for good. Because when you learn something and use that to build yourself and to build others, that's using powers for good.
Right. I think for me, and we're going to get to this comment, I believe this is Kevin again. On Facebook, it doesn't have a name, it just says Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay, so so I think for me, I love my parents to death. But because I saw them married for so long, that's what I want right out the gate. Like, I want to be married right out of high school. You know what I'm saying? You know, I had this girl that I was dealing with and whatnot, high school sweetheart. Y'all know how it is. But, and I wanted to get married to her. Like, I hadn't dealt with nobody else. Didn't even know if that was truly who I wanted and all these things. I hadn't experienced anything, but I also did not know how to date. Right. And I look back on a lot, and I mean, I wish my parents had really had discussions with me and taught me kind of how to date and how to have choices so that you can really find the person that you want to be with, right?
That's the
versus like just
dating,
going out there and not knowing anything and then running my head up against a wall, right?
Right.
So let me read. It said, folks see red flags, but they think they can change that person. Save them. Some folks feel that they failed and they back out. The fear of being alone drives some to ignore and justify it by hoping. Is that what it is? Or hoping or hopping? Hopping.
Justify it. I gotta read it over here where I can see it. Justifying it by hoping.
Okay.
Hopping?
Yeah. Anyway, I didn't graduate 5th grade, but that's okay. Don't tell nobody. So I definitely get what you're saying, because sometimes when we try to save them, you know what I'm saying? And I think another thing too is we don't take time for ourselves. We don't take time to be alone and really learn who we are.
Right.
We just try to run to the next relationship because we don't want to be alone. That fear of being alone.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that is very, very important, because I think when you're alone and you start yourself, now you start to have way more. You said it earlier, but I'm gonna use the word respect, but that's not what I'm trying to say. You start to have way more respect for yourself, way more like love for yourself, and just like, I'm not taking that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not dealing with that. So you see the red flags coming a mile away. You know, when they start walking towards you, like, that's a red flag. I'm cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like me, I don't even need to get a young lady. Like, I don't even need to her outside of me, myself, and I first. Yeah. I don't need to even talk to her, Claudette. Yes.
Hey, Jackson.
I don't even need to talk to her outside of you know, a long period of time. Like, okay, we're wasting time. And one thing I will say is different for men, which is that you said earlier that I said I was going to come back to, is, and I used to try to deny this and try to be like, you know, say that it wasn't so when that wasn't the truth. Men know what we want when we want it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I used to be like, well, you know, I'm just trying to build a friendship, you know, where it goes. If I tell a young lady that, 9 out of 10, I'm not interested. You know what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10, I'm trying to hit you with the elbow dance. I'm just being honest, right?
Hold it.
I'm just being honest, right? So, and for those of y'all who don't know what the elbow dance is, you know what the elbow dance is. Use your imagination. Stop playing.
We wrong. Right?
Say that thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if I say that, normally that's what's going on. Like, I physically am attracted to you, but that there's no other substance. Right. Hey, never mind. Like, other than that, there's no substance that I find about you that I'm like, yeah, I can have more with this young lady. I can make her, I can potentially see her as my wife. Right. So now I can't tell that lie, because I'm a little bit more, I'm a little older, I'm a little bit more relationship mature. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm looking with the purpose, because I'm trying to find somebody I can spend the rest of my life with, right? So it's like, there's a lot that I'm not going to accept. So you come out the gate talking crazy, no, we get it.
Right.
We don't need to move past A. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Why waste my time? Right. So that's where, when you were talking about options earlier, I don't need options. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I know what it is I want. So it's just like, okay, you know, because for me, dating doesn't mean we're exclusive. Exclusive means we're exclusive. Dating means I'm taking you out here and there.
Going on dates. I mean, I just see that as going on dates.
That's still dating.
Yeah.
That's still dating, though, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like when you're dating, you're trying to figure out where you want to be, what lane you want to be in. You know what I'm saying? What person matches most of the stuff that you want when you're dating, right? You need to be on The Bachelor.
But how do you do it, though?
What you mean?
To what you said, what person matches? What I'm saying, I'm talking about surface level. I'm not talking about we've gotten to the meat of some things.
That's not even, I'm not even talking about the meat. I'm about surface level. Do you know?
So how do you?
I'm not talking about you particular.
Yeah.
But that thing keep pausing.
Yeah, I see.
But in general, do you know what you want?
Right.
So it's like, why am I going to entertain somebody that's not even bringing that to the table?
But how do you even know that on a first date?
Because I'm not going on a first date with you.
Okay, so you're saying you've had some conversations, right? So that ain't certain. Okay, got you.
Yeah,
you've had some. And I agree with that. Yeah. You've had some conversations,
right?
You know that you want to.
If I'm taking and we're going out, there's no confusion for me, because I'm not looking at a pool of people to take out. I was doing that 10 years ago, right? 10 years ago, I'm taking out Susie, I'm taking out Janet, and I'm taking out Jennifer.
Got you. I'm with you.
now
I'm with you.
as a man,
I'm with you.
you know, as a man, I know exactly what I want.
Natasha, hey. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I know exactly what I want,
Gotcha.
right? So that limits the playing pool for me,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's like I'm taking you out with a purpose,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? Where before I was like, I'm just looking for friends. Let's just see how it goes. Let's see how it builds. So now I'm taking out the Jennifers and the Jeanettes and the Ebonies,
Yeah.
all at the same time. But I don't have purpose for none of them.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? So it may happen, but that's just because she put in that work, right?
Right.
And I'm not talking about in a sexual manner. I'm just saying she wanted that I wanted her. So she put in a lot of effort, right? So, but I'm not necessarily looking at it like that. I'm just out here, you know, and part of the reason I was doing that, let's be honest, I was hurt. So it was hard for me to move on. So I was like, let me just see what's out here. And I don't want to get hurt. So I want to protect myself, right? So the way I protected myself was saying, okay, I'm going to take you out. I'm going to take you out. I'm going to take you out, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now that hurt is not a part of my life anymore. Now that I'm a healed person, now that I know how to weed through the foolishness, you know what I'm saying, so to speak. I'm looking at situations. If I'm spending my time to get in my car, you know what I'm saying, shave up, you know, do something with my hair, look nice, smell good, you know, spend some money, take you out, and I'm gonna make sure you have a good time. If I'm doing all that, then there's a purpose for it behind it with me.
Right. But
you know what I'm saying? So but that's just in that stage in my life.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know?
And I get that and I understand that.
Right.
You know, and I understand it. So I would not see, and I don't see that's Claudette.
What do you not understanding, Claudette? Can you type it, please?
So while we're waiting on her to type that, what she don't understand.
Okay.
I don't see a man, again, or a woman, because I see it on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a problem with them going out on dates with several people. Because the process of even getting to what you're saying, it's a process.
Now, mind you, you're talking to a person who's never been married before, so it may be different.
I don't know that this has anything to do with marriage, being married before or not.
I think it does, because my mindset is different. I'm trying to get to a place that I've never been before.
Okay.
Versus you you've been there before. So now you're in a whole new pool that you've never experienced in this dating pool. So you almost got to re-find out what you like anymore.
I don't agree. Let me tell you why.
Okay.
Because, and my sister can attest to this.
Okay.
My sister can attest to this. Hey Jackson, I'm gonna grab your comment in just a second. My sister can attest to this. Mommy, Aunt Sylvia, talked to us about dating more than one person, dating several people. Why? Because at that point, we're talking about early stage.
Yeah.
You don't even know what you want. Right? So until you have certain experiences, talk to different people or whatever, then you start learning, oh, I like that characteristic. I like that type of thing. I like this and that. And like you said, the majority of that comes from what you live, what you learn. Children live with. The majority of that comes from that. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So the part that it has anything really to do with the fact of being married before or not is when we talk people in their 50s or older, 40s, older, right?
Mm-hmm.
And no slight to the people under that age group. Just follow what I'm saying. So the people older in age group, right? Them knowing, because there's some that still don't know. But let's talk on this. Let's talk with the mindset that they know what they want.
Right.
They know what they want. So knowing what you want and being able to see that in someone requires some things.
Right.
Which is why I don't have a problem with going out on dates with several people until I get to the point of saying, okay. So say there's Kevin and there's Jackson, right? And there's an interest in both of these men. And we go out on dates. I like certain things about Kevin. I like certain things about Jackson.
Okay.
But because I know who I am
Mm-hmm.
and I know what I want,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know that until I have this time with Kevin and this time with Jackson.
So I think you just stated my point though.
How is that?
So let's read
Okay.
these questions real quick. I can't see the names.
That is Jackson. Hello there. That's Jackson.
Jackson, he said,
Hello.
yeah. Hello there, everyone. Dating within the range of 35 to 50 is the personality of self to show leadership, partnership, exclusively you and I. Under that unique code of understanding yourself and partner to adapt to the realities that reciprocates towards self and whom you're with and whom you are with. I totally agree with you on that, because I think that's what I'm saying right now is that, you know what I'm saying, because you dealt with so many different things and you have so many different experiences, you're at this on a different level. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're like, okay, what's exclusively for me? You know what I'm saying? And what's the unique code to under yourself and your partner? You know, so it's like you're trying to figure that out. So I think that especially as men, when we get to a certain age and certain mindset, it's like, you know, we don't want to keep throwing our line out there to catch a bunch of fish.
And I
you know what I'm saying? We go in the pond that we know got the fish.
And Kevin said, and I understand it. So I'm gonna read this comment first. Kevin said, "Well, if you go out with Kevin, I'm trying to make it our last first date. Dating over 50, I date with a purpose."
Exactly.
And as a woman, I have to say for myself.
Wait a minute. What did he say before that though? Let's not cheat him. Let's not cheat him.
All right. He says sometimes though we men miss out because we measure our successes against the woman we are interested in. As an older man, it's hard to believe the potential women could be interested in someone that has less than her. It's like what we can, page moving on me. It's like what we can actually do for a woman that already has what he would work hard to provide for her. Men want to be needed and wanted. Let me say something on that one, Kevin. I have to say something on that. So we real, right? We real.
Who's the
Yeah.
Okay.
So real on what Kevin just said. A woman who has her stuff together, who has things in order, and listen, it is necessary for me because I am one of those women that he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the example of that.
Okay.
Right? And looking for necessarily, it's not looking for him to come in and provide things that I need if I'm already providing those things, right?
Right.
But we have to come into talking about the emotional. We have to start talking about the physical needs, those things like that. I don't care how much money you have. You're not covering that with your dollars or what you have and all of that. So I think a man who has, this is my opinion, a man who has it together without having all of this, a man who is secure in him, a man who is confident in himself, and knows what a provider looks like, regardless of if she makes this and he makes that. I don't see very many women, successful women, walking away from that type of man.
So let me hit you pushback.
Pushback. Okay.
You're coming, and I get what Kevin is saying.
Mm-hmm.
You're coming from it. You're coming at that statement from a woman's point of view, a woman's thought process. As a man, you got to realize. I'm assuming Kevin's in his 50s because of what he said. I'm in.
Hey Joe.
Other half of 40. I don't want to late 40 because I just got over 45. I'm 40. So
you're the late one.
I'm borderline in it. But remember who our dates were. Remember who our remember who our great grandfathers were. These are the men that we saw, our uncles.
Some of
you know what I'm saying? Our uncle somewhere that we looked up could have been Principal Joe. You know what I'm saying? It could have been
not Joe Clark. No.
Principal Joe Clark. It could have been teacher such and such. But these men we saw were great providers, you know what I'm saying, for their homes, right? And the great providers for their women, right? So we're looking at these examples, and it's hard for us to break that because, especially for at least 30 of our years, we have grown up to where they know that we have to be the leaders of our home, the providers of our home. We have to, you know what I'm saying? We are our wives. Wait a minute. Our wives shouldn't want for nothing. Our girlfriend shouldn't, you know, this, that, and the third. And these are the things that we're being taught. But now you're in the other 20 years when the rules of the game are changing, right? Because, and I'm not trying to be chauvinistic, I'm just being real. Women are becoming way more independent, right? So you had a men who was coming out of high school and they was like, I got to provide for my family, and they go work at the steel mill. But you have women who are coming out and now they're going to college at 4-6 degrees. So now they're making way more money than their counterparts are, right? Because, you know, they have the bachelor's, the doctorates, and the masters, right? The masters and the doctorates, right? So this man who has worked at the steel mill for the last 30, 40 years, because this is what he was taught to go come out of high school and provide for his family, or let's say he went to the military, you know what I'm saying, to provide for his family, the woman that he's looking at 9 times 10 is a very highly educated woman, right? So now he's looking at her like, you know, she may make X amount of dollars, or let's just say vocabulary is more than his. So now he don't feel as smart as he should. Not saying that she's making him feel this way, but these are the things, the pressures that he's putting on himself, because these are the things that he's been taught, right? So it's like he's looking at the situation like, okay, how do I compete, or how do I measure up to this woman, or whatever the case might be? And now you have a lot of these new age women, right, that have this thought process. You have new age men too, but you have a lot of the new age men have this thought process that, well, if he doesn't have this type of a car, or if he doesn't this amount of money, or if he can't take me here or do this, then I don't want him. I don't want to deal with him. And it's okay, I hear you, you know what I'm saying, but you just X'd out a whole group of men who could be. So now when you're constantly hearing this on repetitive, you know what I'm saying, and you go to approach a woman, the first thing you will hear in the back of your mind is, bro, you're not good enough for her, right? Now, that does have a lot to do with confidence.
I gotta stop.
Okay.
I gotta stop.
Go ahead. I'm just telling you, what men are thinking.
And look, love you dearly.
Okay.
And Kev is
let's not forget some of these questions.
Yeah, I'm not forgetting it. I'm gonna come back to it. I'm gonna come back to it. So love you dearly. Right?
Okay, go ahead.
And I read what Kevin said. And as a woman, I said what the hell I said.
Right.
So you get in your own way. Because the person that you want to pursue, a woman,
right,
is telling you,
okay,
how this thing works in her mind. Okay. So who are you trying to impress? Yourself or her? So when y'all put yourself in this box of not being good enough, not being able to perform this, not being able to pay this, not being able to pay that, y'all are killing your own self. The reason the woman might not be responding to you how you may want her to,
right?
You done already came with the, I don't know what I can do. I don't know what she this and she, I don't know. You have already shot yourself in the foot. Ladies, please respond. You have already shot yourself in the foot. Because again, if a brother comes to me and he has the confidence and he has the self-esteem and he has all these things.
Who said amen?
Okay. A woman. And he has all of these things, but he don't make as much as I do.
Right.
He don't drive what drive.
Okay.
Listen, when we go, guess what we riding in?
Okay, so I'm gonna flip this on you.
Hold on. Guess what we riding in? His hoopty.
Okay.
You know why?
Why?
Because as a woman, I want to be protected,
Okay.
provided for.
Right.
I want to feel like I'm safe.
Okay.
And if he comes with all of that,
Right.
if he comes with all of
I hear you, but this is how I'm gonna flip it, and then we're gonna get to the questions.
the
same thing that you just said is the same thing men are saying to women who go out and get these false bodies because they're insecure.
Hey, but that ain't the one for you though.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not. It is, but I'm just saying. I'm just showing the reality of why people think like that, because society,
Get out your own way.
society and social realms around them are saying this is what the norm is, right? And then
society tell you.
But wait a minute though. But then you meet 30 people, and 30 people are saying the exact same thing, and that 31st person may be the one who think like, but now your thought process is already dated because of the 30 people you met before them. You know what I'm saying?
But
I'm not like, and I understand that confidence plays a lot, but you know what I'm saying? When your confidence gets hit 1,000 times, eventually there's going to be a crack in that thing.
No.
Yes.
Let me tell you how. Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah. I didn't mean no, as in I don't agree with you.
Yeah. No. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Because, and I get it, because we live in a world with each other.
Okay.
Yeah. I hate when you have to keep hitting it to make, because it'll disappear.
Right.
I live in a world where what my peers think matters. And I don't care what nobody say. What other people think matters to a certain extent, to a certain degree. So I get that. I mean, I get what.
But that also comes with relationship maturity, though, because at some point you have to get past that. So that's why I'm saying I do agree with you, but I'm just telling you from a man's point of view what the thought process is.
I get it. I think men's point of view. We're gonna say all men. I think some men's point of view. Okay, so what about the man that is financially on a plane and on another level?
What about him?
So you say that says not all men don't think like that, but
right. No, I'm telling you what's the thought process of some men is, right?
Some men,
and I think that's part of the issue, is that men try to tell you what we're feeling and what we're thinking, and then women try to come and tell us like, no, that's not what you're feeling and thinking.
Well, no,
and it's just like,
it's
okay,
not on the same token.
How are you going to be able to tell me what I'm feeling and thinking as a man, and you've never been a man?
On the same token, we're not. It's not saying how you should be feeling and how you should be thinking.
Right.
It's saying what you can do to get beyond feeling that thought that you've erupted, that you've created. Right. I'm not telling you don't feel that way, but I'm telling you, I'm going to make you feel secure enough in this that you don't have to worry about that.
Okay, so that's got to be nurtured somewhere, though, right?
It does.
So where's that? Where does that get nurtured at?
It does. You have to start. The nurturing of it comes with self love, self-preservation, self-confidence, self-counseling. Ding 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 ding. It comes with that. And right. I mean, reality is there is low self-esteem, traumas, all of these things that make you feel like you're not worthy, because that's what that feeling is. You feel like you're not worthy. You feel like you're less than. You feel like the person that has the bigger this or bigger that is better, and they're gonna get the girl, and I can't. So that means if that's a thought process, and the women are saying, we're not even concerned with that, sir. It's not telling you how you should feel. It's telling you the one that you're pursuing, the one that you're interested in, is saying to you, but the only way you're going to come is if you get out your own head in your own way and build up that confidence in yourself, that it doesn't matter how much she make compared to what I make. Doesn't matter how much. And I get the societal norm. Society says this and society says that. And society is the problem. Society is the problem. Social media is the problem.
I personally feel how two people decide to be in their relationship. If it works for them, it works for them.
Oh yeah.
That's my personal. So let's go to Claudette.
Yeah.
Claudette said, when you date more than one person, it allows the time to get to know yourself and what you like, what you
respect, you want long term, and you may find qualities in different people you date. You narrow it down to what you want and then choose. Totally agree. The only part she said, when you date more than one person, it allows you time to get to know yourself and what you want. Yeah, because truth be told, I may never have had caviar, right? And until I have caviar, I didn't even know I like caviar. Why? Because of what it is. Fish eggs, I think, right?
Yes.
Because of what it is, I can be like, oh, I don't even want to try it.
I got a little taste.
I don't even want to try that. So I totally agree with her. You can already know yourself. This is not saying that you don't know yourself, right? You could have gone and done the work and know yourself and understand, what you need, what you want, your desires, and all of that stuff. And then you meet somebody, and you're like, oh my goodness, I never even looked at that.
Right. They're just showing you a new experience because you're open to learning new experiences, which I think you should be in any situation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But it doesn't.
But I don't think that really has much to do with knowing yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because I think you still have to learn who you are, what your likes, your dislikes are, right? So I think that where I said that you were saying the same thing that I said, it's just like, you know what I'm saying? When you date, you're basically building, you're taking pieces from each of these dates and you're building your ideal person, right? So you're like, oh, I like this, and I like that, and I like this, and I like that, right? Then you're starting to understand and figure out what it is that you like, right? And what you want from a mate and a person, right? So, for a man that's never been married, right, and wants to get to that point, all that put in. Okay, I got you. Once I have all that put in, and we still got to read the other people before we get to them. Yeah. Once I have all that stuff put in, you know what I'm saying, then I was like, okay, I know exactly the data that I need, and I'm analytical too. So let's put that point in there too. You know what I'm saying? I'm a very analytical person, the way that I do things, right? On a cerebral level, right? On cerebral level. I don't know why I said cerebral. What is that? You know what I'm saying? But I put all that into a database of like, okay, these are the things that I want my particular mate to have. So now it's like I'm going out here moving with a purpose, right? Because I know what it is I want. So what I'm saying is different for you as a married person. It's like now you got to route, what I'm saying, the things that you like, you know what I'm saying, when you go out there because if not, you're just gonna marry the same person that you just with. But 9 times out of 10, right? So now you got, once you get back out there in the dating scene is different. You're dating multiple people because now you're trying to refigure out what it is you want, right? So then it's like,
I don't think it's refiguring out what you want. I think you just didn't get what you wanted in that marriage.
9 times out of 10 because you did not know.
Right? Because I agree.
Right. So now you're figuring out all over again, and you're going through like almost all the baby steps. But the thing is like, because you brought it earlier, like, and first of all, you know what I'm saying, I'm speaking in a general sense, but like, because some of that stuff that we as men do is kind of crazy. Let's just be honest. You can't be locking nobody down off a first text message. Let's be real.
Say it again for the people in the back.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying this, like, if you and this person been talking for a good minute, y'all been kind of going out, doing your thing and having fun and really enjoying each other. If she tells me that she's still dating Bob, John, and Joey, then I'm gonna be like, well, I don't understand how you can put effort into me if your attention is split. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's either A, something I'm not doing right, or B, you not really serious, right? You know what I'm saying? So
I don't agree at all.
So
at all.
Okay, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Jackson said, when I date,
Is that,
yeah, we on the
is
right
that the next
spot.
one? Okay.
Yep. When I date, I utilize a Venn diagram or projection board. I do this for self-therapy and rely on her to have
Is he a psychologist?
similarities in establishing a sense of reality moving towards a partnership. But I will not push upon no one to see me as their significant until she can find it within herself to see me as I have do her. Yes, I want a woman who is serious and established in her world, but want I I securely want a woman that's happy in her skin and loves herself and is grounded to respect and respond to me as her protector. Bam, bam, securely respond to me as her protector. And the way she can do that is all the stuff that he said. Oh, Jackson, I like that. Clutter said at the same time, he has to be secure enough to jump in your ride that you earned and leave the hoopty in the driveway. Exactly. It comes with that security. It comes with him being confident and secure and be like, oh, baby, you know what? Let's just go in your car. And don't have to feel like, oh, she want to get in her car because her car better than mine and my car, and I worked hard for this little hoopty, but we can't ride in my car. You killing your own self.
Jackson, let me ask you a question because I don't want to jump the gun as far as what I think you're saying here. But let me ask you a question because you're saying a woman on the same playing field as you as far as like what they're looking for in a relationship partnership. So let me ask you a question. If she is saying and if y'all have talked for a good amount, you're taking her out, you're guys are having a good time, you really have a bond, but she's still telling you that she's dating multiple people.
She would not be. If
Okay, so that's
if
what I was just saying though.
if
And you were
she's
saying
doing
that was okay.
no, and we there was a misconnection
Okay,
somewhere
okay.
because that's not
Because
what
I
I'm
agree
saying at
exactly
all.
with what he's saying because he's saying what I said.
Yeah, no, that's
Okay.
not what I'm saying at all. I'm not saying and that's what I was saying. When we have that come to Jesus meeting, that means there is a connection. There's no other reason for me to go out with nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
Based on what all that Jackson just said, there's no other reason for me to go out with anybody else.
So one of the is yes, I want a woman who is serious and established in her world, but is securely wants a woman that is happy in her skin and loves herself. No, that's not what it was. He said something. Hold on. I will not push upon no one to see me as their significant other until she can find it within herself to see me as I do her. That's the point that I wanted to kind of get to because it's like, okay,
she can see me, I do her.
Right. So this come to Jesus meeting, right? That you're talking about. 9 times out of 10, you know what I'm saying? If a man is taking you on more than 3 dates, 9 times out of 10, he sees you in a certain way. Right. You know what I'm saying? But y'all may not have had that come to Jesus meeting conversation, right? Wait a second. So he didn't in his line, he didn't already cut off the Sallys and the Sues, and if they were even there to begin with, right? So he's already put in his head that he's ready to move forward, right? But you're in your head, you're like, well, I'm gonna keep playing the game until he makes this thing exclusive, right? Now, I'm not saying that that's you because your story could be different, but I'm saying some of the women that we run across,
games.
You know what I'm saying? Their thing is like, oh, well, if he's not making me exclusive, then I still have. At what point?
You know why she would say that?
But wait a minute, though. At what point are you going to say to yourself that, hey, I see this guy, somebody that I want and I want to deal with. Let me get rid of the foolishness because this is where I want to be at, right? So as a man, if you're not showing me you want to be somewhere, I'm not going to have that conversation with you. Right. So if you still telling me that you're going out on all these different dates and you entertaining all these other different people, I'm not going to have that conversation with you because you're showing me that you're not where I'm at.
but there would be the conversation would come if you're at that point. If you're at that point, one, the conversation has been had,
No, not necessarily.
or two,
Not necessarily.
if you're at that point, and so the way you're taking, the way you're looking at it is that I'm just gonna keep doing me. I'm just gonna keep doing me, keep going out, keep doing this, keep doing that, unless he says, hey, it's just gonna be me and you.
Yes.
That conversation is necessary. But if at the point of what you're saying, Jackson is saying, that conversation has been had.
No, it hasn't.
Or that conversation.
Not all the time.
Okay.
Not all the time.
So okay. So the depthness of it. Okay. When we get to that point, we're both showing each other that we feel each other.
Right.
We have not said, hey, I want to be exclusive with you. Hey, I want to be exclusive with you. We have not had that conversation. We have not said that, right?
We have not.
But like he said, if the way he sees her, the way she sees him, they see each other the same. Which means we are already setting ourselves up to come to this point.
Right.
But so that means that conversation, if not already had, that conversation by two mature people, because we're not play games and leave things up to assumption. And we're not going to say, oh, I see this man is feeling me, but he ain't say nothing.
I'm telling you.
Well, so, okay, I'm sure it does happen, but let me tell you what it happens with an immature woman who is not prepared to go on that next level. She ain't ready. If she playing them kind of games, she ain't ready. Because all she want to do is, if all she want to do is hear him say.
That's the same thing that I was just saying, though.
That's the same thing.
Because remember when I said, or, either B, she's not ready. Right. So if she is like, because if she is telling you that, because like I said, at this point, when a man is at a position of readiness, he's automatically moving faster than that woman.
Let me see. Sean wants to come on. So Sean, give me 1 second.
Where are we at with these comments?
Let's see. Now. At the same time, there's enough to jump in the ride. Claudia said there are some people that bring the best and the worst out in you. The person is teaching you about yourself. Sean said, T said, but when you put it out there, you have to be real with yourself about how the dynamics are going to be. Jackson said, nurturing your mate starts with having an open discussion and listening to each other with love for yourself, the relationship, and our growth in it as one. Don't allow society to project the relationship to, only allow society to show you what you don't want. Don't let the world obstructness because society isn't your total social security. The morality of foundation in a dating ship is only the needs for our success. Sean said, stop being afraid to have the conversation. Right. If we at that point, we're going to have that conversation. Claudia said, why are you worried about John, Jerry, Joe? Worry about you. Concentrate on yourself and what you want in the relationship, and she may just choose you.
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Okay.
That makes no sense.
Okay.
Because if the shoe is on the other foot, then you having a fit.
No.
Yes, you are.
Well, listen. If you're having a fit, she's not the right one. If she's having a fit, she is not the right one.
You can't
Her level of maturity is not there. She's not ready for that.
Yeah.
If she's having a fit.
You can't say what's good for the goose is not good for the, you know what I'm saying? Right. But so basically, but what I'm saying though is like, you keep talking about that, or you guys keep talking about a man is just going to have a conversation regardless. A man is not going to have that conversation if he sees you not moving in the right that direction. He's not going to waste his time. Okay. It has nothing to do with being.
do we keep
confident.
missing? Why do
Wait-
we keep
wait a minute,
missing
wait a
that
minute.
she's moving in that direction?
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. But the way you saying it is like the woman is out there and she.
Because that's what we're talking about. That's the discussion that we're
Right,
having. So
because-
I'm going off those lines.
So if she's out there doing that, she's not ready.
Okay, that's what I said before, though. But I'm saying though, what I'm seeing, some of the patriots say, and the thing is that you gotta have confidence. You got to be secure within yourself. You can't worry about da 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 da. You just got to go have that conversation. It's like, why am I wasting my breath?
Because
if you're not like, you want me to, it's almost like you want me to come rescue you from the foolishness that you are in. No, you got to get out. You got to get out of that yourself.
No,
you got to make a choice in the decision.
Right, you make a choice and decision when the brother who is pursuing you,
Mm-hmm.
when you recognize and realize and see that is what he's doing. Because let me tell you how many women put themselves out there thinking that that's what they have, and they think it, and they start moving on it, acting on it, for the man to say, "Wait a minute, we're not together like that."
Okay, that happens both ways though. So that's not a good excuse.
Okay, it's not an excuse, but what I'm
Right.
saying is, what I'm trying to do, and what I'm saying is, let's stop the foolishness. Let's stop the foolishness. It's not about who gonna win up one. Up one. What happened to the man? What happened to the man pursuing the woman? Because you went back to he was talking about how our dads used to do it,
Right.
and granddads and stuff used to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why is that not applicable now?
That is applicable.
So what's wrong with her waiting and wanting to know that she is who he wants without assumptions?
So I'm not putting this on women. I don't want to sound like I'm beating up on women. That is very applicable now. But a lot of people want to be chased. They don't want to be pursued. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's impossible to even catch those people, right? So everybody has
I agree.
Everybody has that mind, but you don't know that until you know.
That's what I said.
Situations in.
That's what I said.
You know what I'm saying? So it's because a lot of people are getting
exactly what I said.
The false faces on.
That's
so it's kind of like, so now you're in a situation like, dang, this person is having me
I think we agreeing. That's what I said. You don't know that.
We are agreeing. The only place that we're disagreeing is where I'm saying that I'm saying 8 times out of 10, a man is not going to have that conversation with you if he sees that you moving funny. That's all I'm saying.
And a woman is not going to position herself to even think you what she wants, or she is what you want without you moving. She's not. Because if she does,
but you can't ask a man to do all these things.
Oh no, I agree.
Wait a minute.
Oh, I agree.
And I'm not talking about monetarily. I'm not talking about paying bills.
I know.
I'm just saying, you can't ask a man to do all these things to, give you the attention that you ask for, and all stuff. And he's giving you these things, right? And then say, "Oh, I don't see you moving because you're not having a conversation with me." Like, okay, I'm doing what you're asking me to do, or what you ask of me, or what you want from me, right? You know what I'm saying?
Well, if he does all of that,
yeah,
he's going to make sure she knows. He's going to make sure she knows.
Okay.
There's no way if he is doing all of that, he is not going to allow that to get away from him.
I hear you, but as a man that lives in that world, I have to respectfully disagree.
Okay, don't say nothing there.
I have to respectfully disagree.
Don't say nothing there.
I'm not saying that happens with all women.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? But there are cases where that happens.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
And she ain't ready.
That is the cases where that happens.
She ain't ready. So Kevin said dating multiples is addictive. Next thing you know, you're a serial dater. It's like club hopping. It gets old and soon it gets boring. I guess it would be wise to ask the person what they are looking for before going on a date. Are you dating with a purpose, or are you dating out here freestyling? Again, Kevin, it won't be addictive. Dating multiples will not be addictive because, for one, I would hope, I really, really hope, and let's talk in the frame of this being the reality.
Right.
If she's dating multiples or he's dating multiples, they already know what they're looking for.
Do
And
they?
when they see it, how can you possibly know before you even have a conversation, spend time, and see the seed? How can you possibly?
Okay. So,
You can't.
right. But what Kevin is saying, now you just spent time and you just saw.
I'm all for that.
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
know what I'm
disagreeing
saying?
with it.
Right. But I'm just saying what he's saying, and but you're still choosing to date your multiples, or you're like, oh man, this person is he bringing it, but you know what I'm saying? We bring in the excuses as to why we still need to
I
keep
didn't see
dating.
none of that.
You know what I'm saying?
I didn't see none of that. And but being
No,
that
no.
you're
I
saying
just added on something.
okay.
Yeah.
So being that you're saying that,
Yeah, I just added
I'm
on
gonna
something.
say one more time,
Mm-hmm.
she ain't ready.
Just,
If that's what she's doing, she ain't ready. T said it shouldn't be a competition. T, I didn't forget that you wanted to come on. Claudia said if he cut off the Sally, Susan, Mays, that means he know what he wants.
right.
That doesn't mean she is ready to choose what she wants in him. Ha ha.
I get that,
Then-
and I'm not saying
okay.
that. I'm just saying you can't expect me to have the conversation with you if I see you not ready to have the conversation.
Teresa said, my comment is late driving, but I agree with both. If I have a vision of what
What
I
up,
want
T?
in my life to be, I need my future partner to match it because it will grow resentment later on. On the other hand, if I think it would just take him a little longer because of what he's been through and we connect without baggage, I can work with that.
Organic.
I can work with that.
Organic.
By the way, I'm not riding in your hoopty. I will pass you my keys because you are driving. It's not so much my car looks better. I'm scared to be stuck on the side of the road. Teresa, I know what you I feel what you're saying with that.
Look, I know how to work on my car, duct tape and all.
Because if he has a problem with riding in your car, my glasses all crooked. What is going on? If he has, and I need this, if he has a problem with riding in your car, then y'all ain't on an even toe. I get it. I get it. We going further than this stuff. Hey, Marcy. Hey, Daryl.
How do we get who you say T?
Teresa.
Teresa.
Uh-huh.
Who wanted to get on? No, I want Teresa want to get on.
No, Sean want to get on.
How we get them on?
I gotta go back and hit the thing. Claudia said, you can't be secure enough in yourself and in your manhood to say, may the best man win. Donna, you're a little off on this one. Am I? Lies and again. How am I off, Daryl? Claudia said, you can ask for the world and see who comes the closest in giving it to you.
You know what the problem is?
A competitive mindset?
From both parties.
Mm-mm.
Yes, it is. The problem is
A competitive mindset.
you have two parties.
No, we
Yes.
ain't fighting with y'all.
No.
We're not trying to compete with y'all.
Look,
Mm-hmm.
listen to what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
You have two parties, right?
Mhm.
That's been through X over here and X over here, and then they try to come together,
Mm-hmm.
and they so busy trying to protect themselves that they're not able to see the forest through the trees when it comes to each other.
That is the problem.
You know what I'm saying?
That
So
is
it's
the
kind of
problem.
like the man is not giving the woman a chance. The woman is not giving the man a chance. You know what I'm saying? The woman wants the man to jump to 10,000 hoops. The man wants the woman to jump through 10,000 hoops, right? So it's never enough. So it's like, okay, you know what I'm saying? So now all of a sudden you can't come together because you got so much in the middle, right? You may be healed.
Sean,
you may
send a request to come on again.
be healed. You may not have baggage and all that other kind of good stuff, but you do have a lot of residual scar tissue. And until you get rid of that residual scar tissue, it's gonna be hard for you to see a successful.
It continues to be a mess. It continues to be a mess. And somebody said, Daryl, I'm still trying to see where you said I'm a little off. It shouldn't be a competition. Sean said, T said it shouldn't be a competition. Totally agree. Why are we competing and battling with each other when we say what we want is the other. Like, it's crazy to me. I was having this discussion with with a friend of mine the other day, and I'm like, relationships are not hard. We put we have to be careful what we speak. Oh, relationships are hard. This is hard work. This is hard work. Truth be told, if you get a project at work and you don't understand it, you're gonna do whatever you have to do to make sure you're successful in that project, right or wrong.
Right.
So it may have been a challenge. Yes, it may have been hard. But if you keep harping on, oh, this is hard, this is hard, this is hard, then your mindset is always going to be that I'm going to have to fight with this. I'm going to have to battle with this. As opposed to saying, I'm the glass half full type. That's just who I am. As opposed to saying, this is what I want. I want to be with him. I want to be with her. We're going to have some challenges, but we're going to get through them challenges. Why? Because she is what I want. He is what I want.
Yeah, I mean, once again, coming from a guy who's never been married, you know what I'm saying?
Sean, where you go?
I have been in a few relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to put in the work.
Yeah.
That simple. Like, I think a lot of us want to bail as soon as it get hard.
Yep.
Right? You know what I'm saying? But you also have to know when you're putting in the work with the wrong person.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because you could pour into somebody, but if they got holes in the bottom of the cup, you ain't never gonna fill it up
constantly.
You know what I'm saying? But you can also pour into somebody who has a solid foundation on the bottom of that cup, and eventually they can drink from that thing. You know what I'm saying? And they can get what it is that you're pouring into them, and vice versa. But if you're dealing with a person who has holes in the bottom of their cup, you're just gonna keep pouring and pouring until you deplete yourself.
Yep.
And now you're gonna have baggage. You're gonna be hurt. You're gonna, the next woman gonna have to jump through 1,000 hoops. She gonna have to do this, that, and the third. The next man gonna have to jump through 1,000 hoops. He gonna have to do this, that, and the third. And it's like I said earlier, for me, I'm at the point to where, because I know exactly what I want. No, like, I don't need to have a bunch of conversations with you. If you're not it, you're not it. That's how it works for me, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, because I know exactly what I want, where I'm at, and I, but once again, I keep putting the caveat out there. I've never been married, so I'm not relearning anything. I'm just adding to what I already have. If I had been married, I might be like, you know what, let me see what's out there, because now the dating world is different. I haven't been a part of this pool that's out here now. That's a reason why people say I ain't dated in 50 years. I don't know what's going on. There's a reason, right? I've been dating for the last 50 years. I'm not 50, but hold up now. I'm just saying, I've been dating for this evolution of dating. I've been a part of it. So as it switched, the house was falling apart. Thunder's rolling. as it switched, I was able to adapt with it. When you're in a marriage, you're not able to adapt with it unless you're cheating. That's another story.
Whoa. Say that again.
When you're in a marriage, you're not able to adapt with the dating world because you don't know. And I said unless you're cheating. But that's another story. Because you don't know what's going on or what, what's happening. For me, I'm able to adapt with it. So, like, as it changes, I can adapt with it if I want to, or if I don't want to, right? So that's the only reason I'm saying is, like, when I get to the point, it's like, okay, I know exactly what I want. I don't have a bunch of different people because I know exactly what I want because I've been a part of this.
Hey, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Where you've been married. So it's like now as soon as you come out, it's like being inside for 30 years and you come out and the world looks different. Like people in prison. You know what I'm saying? I hate to put marriage and prison together, but you know what I'm saying? People in prison, they've been in prison for 20 years. And then when they get out of prison, there's all this new technology that they've never seen before. I guarantee you, when they get out of prison, some people are gonna see Teslas and never seen a Tesla before. You know what I'm saying? The flying car just got the FDA or FC or whoever just said, okay, we can have flying cars. That's probably gonna happen in 10 to 15 years now, but they got prototypes out there. When a person gets out of prison, guess what they're gonna see? Flying cars. They ain't never seen flying cars except for on the Jetsons, right? So it's the same thing. If you've been married for a long time, let's just say 10 years. If you've been married for 10 years and now you come out here in this dating world, in the dating world, the pool is different. You're like, I don't remember being this deep. I might need to learn how to swim again. Because you've been sitting on the shore drinking Mai Tais and then found out that the Mai Tais was really watered down.
Don't knock them Mai Tais down.
Right. So so I'm saying
let me read this.
I'm saying all that to say this is that, when you know what it is that you want and you're purposely moving, then it's like, I think you're moving differently. That's all. And then go ahead, say what you're gonna say.
Okay. So Jackson said, dating multiples is a mature act. What isn't mature is having sexual relationships with all. That is simply why I don't entertain sex today as I did in my yesterdays. If a man wants to marry a woman, he proposes and she either accepts or declines. What I am saying is, if a woman wants that man, yes, she should have the conversation with the man. The battle of the sexes is the unclarity of the situations of our past. Right. Right. I love that. The battle of the sexes is the unclarity of the situations of our past. Sir, I'm still in that. A man and woman just needs to openly express the matters of the heart. He also said, in your 40s and 50s, cheating is just stupid. We both are grown now. Childish acts shouldn't be anymore. Most definitely. Most definitely.
And this is all from
Jackson. Yep. Jackson Michael. Kevin said, dating to me is a test in commitment. If you can be disciplined enough to date me only in an attempt to know me fully, then my interest will be sustained. I totally agree. We just have to get there. And we can't say that people have an expectation just because they ask for your number and they take you out once or whatever. They expect you to just lock into them and then turn around and say, oh, well, you can't be dating more than one person. If you're dating more than one person, then what do I need to be here for? Sir or ma'am, give the person time to even see that you are who you are, your A game.
You gotta put in the effort.
Put in the effort. That's all I'm saying. I'm not gonna make a decision off of one or two dates.
Yeah.
Whatever. And if you can't accept that, then you're not for me. Go ahead. Respectfully. I'm not gonna be mad at you, and you shouldn't be mad at me. But it's an act, like Jackson said, dating multiples is a mature act. Having sex with multiples is where the problem comes in at. Claudia said, bottom line, date where you're comfortable, be open and transparent.
I think that was a key phrase that Claudia just said. Date where you're comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Because I think a lot of times we try to date outside of our comfortability zone.
Right. And then we already battle ourselves to overlook stuff.
Right. So now it's like, and I'm just speaking from a man's point of view. Now it's like, okay, I know that this person is not going to just be exclusive to me, right? I know that she's a serial dater, right? Because she's already shown me that 9 times out of 10. If we picture, we already know 9 times out of 10. You know what I'm saying? Even online, you can tell. Let's just be honest. You know what I'm saying? Because there's certain questions that you can ask, while you're trying to get to know her, that can give away some things of the type of person that she is or how she moves. Right. You know what I'm saying? Or if there's certain pictures that she puts up, and I'm pretty sure men do this too, certain pictures, thirst traps, so we know what they are, that she puts up, it kind of tells you how she's moving, right? So, and I know they say you can't judge a book by its cover. You can't. But sometimes the cover tells you exactly what's on the first couple of pages. Sometimes. Right? So you can take that risk if you want to. But if you're not comfortable dating in that area, don't do it. Because you're just going to set yourself up for heartache and pain. Kevin said, being emotionally involved with many is more damaging than sex.
The sex is just the manifestation of the emotional,
That is true.
being emotionally involved. I totally agree. But we still not talking about just dating, going on dates. That's not being emotionally involved.
True.
It's not being emotionally involved. Because when I find myself being emotionally involved, I'm not gonna be dating everybody. It comes together. You have to be emotionally
Mm-hmm.
there. You have to be mentally there. Because that means if my emotions are being tapped, that means I'm seeing something in you that I would love to explore.
Right,
But we gonna have that conversation.
but
I'm not going to, as a woman, I'm not going to assume a thing.
okay. Piggybacking off that and what Kevin is saying here,
We well over an hour.
because I get it and I understand, right? Because even though you just said you feel the way that you feel, you also said that until we have that conversation, correct and incorrect. I just want to make sure.
They come to Jesus meeting.
Yeah, until we have that come to Jesus meeting, then you're gonna do what?
No, let me.
This is why I'm asking.
Yeah,
because I want to make sure I don't put words in your mouth.
Yeah, let's. Jackson hit it so eloquently.
He
to be
did.
honest.
He did.
I mean, okay. Let's go exactly what Jackson said.
Right.
That is what I'm saying.
Okay, but
because
you just
Jackson,
said until that man says that.
So you didn't read what Jackson said.
I read what Jackson said. I'm talking about what you said.
I just said I'm wholly for what Jackson said. Because Jackson is saying and what he said.
That negates what you just said.
No, it doesn't. Jackson is saying and said exactly in his terminology what I am saying. What I am saying, point blank, period, is I, Donna P. Wall, will date, go on dates with more than one person. When we get to that point where I am feeling this person, and I'm realizing, wow, I would really love to explore being with this person. Emotionally involved. Then at that point, I'm not going out on dates with anybody else.
Right. But
I'm not going out on dates with anybody else. There's no but, which means, like Jackson said, feeling her like she's feeling me.
Right.
So that means I'm reciprocating what he's feeling, or he's reciprocating what I'm feeling.
Right.
So now there is no need for all the extras.
Right.
Because as adults, as mature adults.
But you're still saying he needs to have the conversation. As
mature adults, we're going to have a conversation. Because if we don't, then who's playing what game? Why would you not speak that to the person that you're so interested in and now want to invest your time in? Why would you not speak that? That's crazy. So what I'm saying is,
so I'm
no sense with these glasses.
Right. I'm gonna say,
like,
who said you don't need them?
I want to get my
Facebook and Instagram is saying you need them because you can't read these.
No. I need them for reading and computer.
Okay.
But otherwise, I don't need. I do need them for this.
Okay.
That's 51.
All right. So what my pushback on that?
Ooh, go ahead.
My pushback on that is that you are still waiting for the man to communicate to that which you both already feel, right? So it's like
we both.
Wait a minute.
I'm not gonna just put it on the man.
Huh? I said we both. We talking about?
Yeah, we both.
Yeah, that's what I
communicate.
Yeah. So we both feel that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, sometimes you have a situation where, like, you have some women who are looking for this grandiose conversation where it's like a man could be like, I'm telling you that I like you, right? Or women, I enjoy the time that I'm spending with you. Like I really enjoy our time. You know, I'm calling you every day if that's the kind of communication that y'all have. I'm texting you every day if that's the kind of communication that y'all have. You know what I'm saying? We're going out multiple times during the week. We're enjoying each other's company, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's like I am showing, because a lot of men don't know how to communicate. I'm just gonna be real with you. But we do know how to show.
You ain't gotta be real with me.
We know how to show. We know how to show, right? But we end up losing a lot of situations because the woman is like, well, you never communicated. Well, I was showing you. So, like, you know what I'm saying? You wanted me to put in the words what I was already showing you because you were afraid that because I did not say it, that I could come back and say that don't have nothing to do with being mature.
Yeah, dude. A mature man is going to be sure
that don't have anything to do with being mature.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That just they never learned how to communicate, right? So they're looking at the situation like, you know, you're wait a minute, let me finish now. Let me finish.
They never learned how to communicate.
Let me finish.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You know, you're like wanting to exit stage left because they never communicated the words.
Bro, you ain't typing.
Communicated the words in which they are already doing you on a daily basis. A lot of women want to hear those words versus seeing what you're showing them. It's like the man is like, I'm showing you these things. This is ludicrous. But you're like, well, because you're not saying it, that you could come back at any moment and be like, well, that's not what I meant. Right? So then that goes back to that whole fear, confidence thing that we were talking about earlier on the woman's side.
That goes.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying the other side of the coin, what some men are thinking. I'm just giving you the conversation.
So what some let me respond to what some men are thinking.
Right.
With what some women may be thinking.
Conversation's extreme.
with Kevin. Let me respond to what some men may be thinking with what some women may be thinking.
Okay.
What I'm thinking.
Right.
Right?
Right.
If you, sir, have not learned how to communicate at this point, do not expect me to put all of this into you. Because that is a valid thought and comment, but it is an excuse that can't be accepted.
So let me ask you a question.
Wait a minute. I don't know how to communicate. So I'm just going to not say anything.
Or I'm not a communicator.
And expect you to respond to me as if I said it. Or as if. Really?
So I'm gonna break it down like this.
Wait,
do I need to tell you that I'm taking the trash out, or just take the trash out?
No, take the trash out.
Okay, so then, like, what? Come on,
are you comparing?
I am comparing, because sometimes
take.
Do I need to tell you that I'm going to change your tire, or just change your tire?
Change the tire.
Exactly. So if I'm showing
you talking about stuff that happens within me taking care of you, you taking care of me, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about those things, but you can't skip the point that I have to know what you want and you desire. Just because, let me tell you something about me.
I can take your trash. I can take. First of all, that's the problem. Women always want to tell us about ourselves.
No. No, it wasn't even like that. It wasn't like that.
Y'all heard it, fellas. Let me tell you about men. Whoa, she was ready to go in.
Yeah,
but no, real talk.
It wasn't like that.
Real talk though, I can change your tire and I can take your trash out.
Go eat. Yes.
And we don't have to have that conversation. That's just something that I need, that I see needs to be done. Like if you invite, let's say you invite me over, you know what I'm saying, for brunch or something like that, whatever, you know what I'm saying, and I come in and I see the trash. Well, you know, I could grab the trash and take it out.
You know why you ain't taking my trash out? Because I ain't inviting you over until I know you ain't coming to my.
Fellas, we know the deal.
Y'all know the deal?
We hear her talking, but we know how many houses we done been invited to.
Oh, you ain't talking about mine.
I'm not talking about. I'm just talking in general.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? I'm just talking in general. Like
that's what's wrong.
Everybody moves differently.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, where we at?
Jackson said the cover is what it's. Okay, Jackson said cover is what attracted us to each other, but it's the read of a person's conversation that demonstrates the inability to fully involve your time in something that is not of consenting value. I gotta come back and thought. Let's see what will
Read it again. Read it again. Read it again.
The cover is what attracted us to each other.
Right. Let's break it down. Right.
But
there. So basically, he's saying you look good, I look good, we're attracted. Let's go to the next.
But
we're gonna do this thing like we in church. Amen.
It's the read of a person's conversation that demonstrates the inability to fully involve your time.
Okay, hold right there. So basically, he's saying once you read the first chapter, the second chapter, the third chapter, now you make a decision if you really want to keep reading this book. All right, go on. Go on.
Of consenting value. Kevin says, so basically, it's the bachelor, bachelorette without the rose. Kevin, I'm not messing with you. That is the inside. You don't. We ain't talking. Kevin's stupid. Teresa said, uh-oh. Teresa said, oh, no, exclamation mark.
You have to say it.
You have to say it.
Because women
you make the assumption and he can come back and say, I didn't tell you that. I do that for everybody. You cannot make an assumption. And a man who wants you is not going to leave you to guess and assume. A man who wants you,
Teresa, this next question
is not, hold on. I got to say it again. A man who wants you is not going to leave you guessing.
By the way, single ladies in the thing, I'm gonna tell you, but I'm speaking for all men right now. No, well, not all men. Excuse me, not all men. Sorry, let me correct that. I'm speaking for some men. I'm giving them a voice right now. Teresa, I got a question for you. We're gonna come back. Oh, I'm a single lady.
Okay, Jackson said, if a woman wants me, I welcome her to communicate that to me. I will not guess or anything. My screen going. I will not guess or anything of such.
Hold on, because we got to break Kevin's conversations down.
Kevin,
because I'm not. But Jackson, we got to break Jackson.
Wait, let's read it. We might not have to break this down.
No, because like on that first part, he said women don't even want to communicate.
Can I finish reading what he's saying? We don't know what he's saying.
Okay, go ahead.
If we are taking each other out on dates, quality time together, kissing and having conversations, she needs to fully involve me into her world by letting and giving me notice that she wants us to be exclusively together. I want, will never know. This is a little typo. Let me put that together right. Exclusive together. No. I want, will never know. If I purpose to her, I am looking forward to us having a future together with clarity. So what he is saying, what I just read, Jackson said he welcomes her to communicate that to him.
Right.
Communicate.
Right.
Not assume.
Right.
With clarity.
Right.
You are not going to get me locked in and you have not communicated to me who I am to you.
Right.
Where I stand, what I represent. Because we ain't going to the cookout.
So
y'all be like, hey, this is my friend Donna.
So I'm gonna put a number on that thing.
Shoot.
Women communicating to you is probably every 3 out of 10 women.
You better stop. Cause no.
Yes. Reality.
Hey,
it's probably 3 out of every 10 women.
This is real life relationship growth, right? Okay. So because we are growing, the thought process is, if that's the case,
okay,
and that's your reality, that's maybe been your situation. If that's the case, we're not gonna speak like that's okay.
I'm not saying it's okay.
Oh no, I know you're not.
No, I'm just saying that the reality.
Turn the oven on, please.
I'm saying the reality of what he is saying is that, you know, that's great. We all want communication. Like
you saying that's good, but that ain't the case. I mean,
but we got to be real. We got to be honest. We can't hit you with the fairy tale.
No. We're being real. We're being honest. Say that, yes, but don't leave that as that's the finite of it.
I'm not leaving. I'm just saying that situation.
You ain't gonna find.
I didn't say that. I didn't say. I said
find 2.
I said 3
out of 20.
I said 3 out of 10, which would be 6 out of 10. Somebody do the math with me. Amen.
And it may be, but guess what? Okay,
But
okay. Can I follow up?
No, because I didn't finish what I was saying. I didn't finish what I was saying. So basically, a lot of times people are asking from us what they want, what they are not willing to give themselves. That's all I'm at that particular point. And it was something that who said that? Oh, Miss Teresa. Question for you. The question is, if a man is showing you, what does that mean to you? And you don't have to answer it for yourself personally. You can if you want to.
That's my girl. I already know what she goes.
You can, you can, as you want to answer it generally, you can.
Yeah, if T is showing you.
Because you were adamant, no, he's got to say it. So I'm saying, if this man is showing you every day that, you know what I'm saying, it's about you, and he's putting you on a pedestal, like he's making you feel like, gotta have that part two. You gotta have a part two to this.
Yeah.
Look, man.
We are literally.
I'm going
on. It's 2 hours. You ain't going nowhere. I'm leaving. He here for the toddler.
Why you gotta keep calling the boy the toddler?
I mean, you know.
It starts young. See how she breaking his confidence down? No,
I did not. You know that's my nickname for him.
Let me stop.
We definitely gotta have. We gotta have a part two. Part two on Thursday, Kev.
What is?
We gonna have a part two. We're gonna have part two.
Somebody said something. Yeah, what is this? That is. Oh, he just liking what he said already. Okay.
Yeah. Kevin said, "Word up. If a woman wants me, I welcome her to communicate." Yeah.
I think both parties have to communicate. You know,
nothing wrong with a man.
All jokes aside,
I don't think there's anything wrong with a man wanting to feel and know he's wanted.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I need
the whole pursuit of happiness. I
need to know you want me as much as I want you. You know what I'm saying?
Right. We're talking about growth. We're talking about mature people trying to get to a point of having a loving, caring relationship. If I have to compete with you, if I have to show you all of this just for you to be like, it's forever going to be a competition. And I'm a lover. I'm not a fighter.
Right. No, I'm just agreeing with what you're saying. Oh, I don't know what I am. Apparently. Because I'm still single. So maybe I am a fighter. No, but like, yeah. I you know what I'm saying? I
love you, cousin.
I think
we're gonna talk offline.
I think communication is very important. I think communication, you know what I'm saying? But for me, that's not something that I understood until I got with a woman who was one of her love languages was communication. It don't matter what I did for her. It don't matter how much I showed
that thing.
It don't matter how she was still adamant about you didn't say it. And what do you mean? I showed you, and but you didn't say it. So she needed to hear me audibly say what I was showing her. So I had to get out of my own way and stop being stubborn.
Yeah, because I agree.
Yeah.
Love is an action word. It's an action word. And we see actions, but as women, can't speak for all women, but as women, it is almost a requirement. Because like Jackson said, the man is going, if he want her, he's going to propose to her.
Right.
He's going to ask her.
Right.
He's going to communicate that to her.
Right.
And when he does
he's moving with a purpose.
He's moving with purpose.
Right.
And we want y'all to move with purpose.
Yeah.
Because we move with some of the, but listen, no. We want y'all to move with purpose because we're moving with purpose.
Right.
We want to do the same thing. And if two people are moving with purpose, they cannot miss the mark. They cannot miss the mark.
Right.
All right, y'all. We are well over. We are 2 hours into this thing. We started at 8:30, but it was good. It was good. I'm not knocking it.
They passed my bedtime.
Yours. I gotta get up. I gotta be up. Tomorrow is water day, the last day of summer camp. Woohoo!
Where's Teresa at? She didn't answer the question.
Teresa, look.
She probably gone off.
Teresa probably rolled. I don't know what. I
She
don't know
driving.
what T doing.
She driving.
She did say she was driving.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. She probably driving that Audi.
Dang. My bad. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. What year is that Audi?
She probably driving the Audi, rolling up to her brownstone.
Dang.
My girl, wait. She said,
He gotta have the keys in your house too.
Teresa.
You're not going to stay. You're not going to stay in his apartment.
Wait, T, you still got the Audi?
A 2023
Oh.
XT4. Well,
my girl.
only because
travel.
I'm not in the car.
Look.
I gotta Google that.
We travel.
I don't even know what an XT4 is.
Look, we travel deep.
I got an X6. Well, can we work with that?
Can we work with that? So, Teresa said, if a man is showing he wants me and not saying it, I'll just have to ask him, especially if
Okay.
I am growing emotionally attached.
Okay.
What I learned through my mistakes is communication is key. She said it's a Cadillac.
Too late. I already looked it up.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And you know what? I'm going to say something.
I like that though.
I'm good. Yeah.
A lot of times people won't ask. They'll just go around.
That was a missed comment.
Yeah.
And I think it would have wrapped up this an hour ago.
Probably. Teresa, where you been?
Right.
Where you been?
Because I did miss saying that. You're right.
XT4.
That was a missed comment, Teresa. And I think what Cortland is saying with some men, what they're looking for and what he's looking for is for her to reciprocate. And reciprocation means, you know what? I really like you. I'm really feeling you. I really would like to know where this is going.
Right. You got some women that just sit on the
It
sidelines
is.
and wait for him to
I
do
get
everything.
T, my girl.
That's what I'm talking about. She a grown woman.
She a grown woman. She is a grown woman. She got a twin. You know the twin. You know.
I know the twins. I know. I see them all the time. Well, I don't see them all the time, but you know, I see them when they're here.
All right, y'all. We gonna wrap this up. We probably lost Kevin is probably asleep.
Why you gotta do him like that? That man wide awake.
Kevin sleep.
Kevin just laughed. Oh no, that was
that's Teresa.
My bad.
Yeah, Kevin gone. All right, T. Love you, baby. Hey, love all of you guys. Really, really enjoyed this discussion. If y'all want to do a part 2, hey, come to the page, put it up there. We want to do a part 2 of dating in your 20s versus dating in your 50s. Wherever you taking quiz. Jackson said, "Oh, do your thing, brother. Do your thing."
We're gonna call part 2 dating with a purpose.
Oh, there it is. Dating with a purpose. All right, y'all. Love y'all. Y'all have a great evening. Really, really enjoyed this. We have a good time here because we're all about helping, loving, and growing. All right. Y'all have a good night. In this one, I'm gonna end IG.
All right.
Good night, IG.